If you're a writer who is struggling with social media and you're wondering how to use social media to market your book and how to actually drive sales through that, then I'm so glad that you're here because today we are going to be talking about how you as an author can use social media to market your book and to actually see more sales from your efforts. So my name is Jenn Hanson-dePaula and I'm the co-founder of Mixtus Media. And this channel exists to empower and educate authors and writers to help you market your books. I am really good at simplifying the book marketing process and showing you how to use social media to build an audience and to use that audience to sell more books. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to hit like and subscribe. I share new videos every Friday. So let's get started. So the first step that we need to make is actually a mindset shift, because many times when I talk to authors, when I say marketing, they kind of coil up and think, ooh, I don't like marketing, because they feel uncomfortable asking for a sale. But here's something very important to know. Marketing and sales are two completely different things. All marketing is connecting with people. It's creating relationships and building awareness. Sales come much later. That is once you've gone down the road a little bit and really warmed up that audience. And all social media is an awareness tool. It's letting people know that you and your book exist. It's about creating connections with people who are already interested in what you have to share and what you have to say. So having that mindset shift of this isn't actually selling quite yet. This is actually marketing. This is creating relationships and really building that awareness on social media. And then the second step is to focus on your ideal reader. So I always tell my clients, if you're trying to market your book to everyone, you're actually marketing it to no one, because the online world is already so noisy and it's just overcrowded. And many times we feel like we're just kind of yelling into a void when we post something on social media. And that is why I always say to talk to an ideal reader, because if we are very general and just basic in the information that we share, the posts that we share, we're just going to blend into all of the noise. When we speak to our ideal reader, the person that we want to connect with and the person that we know will benefit greatly from our books are who we are going to talk to. So when we focus on speaking specifically to our ideal reader, that is when we can really cut through that noise and when we can really connect with people that we want to connect with. So if you're struggling to figure out who your ideal reader is, when you close your eyes and you think about the person that you want to connect with most, or if there is someone that you already know, maybe it's a family, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a current reader that you have, that you think if every reader could be like this person, and that's who I want to read my book, that is your ideal reader. It's really personifying someone that might be someone who's real that you already know, or it may be someone that you completely made up. But what this is it puts a filter through your mind. It's for you to really think about who you are speaking to. You're not going to leave anyone out. You're not going to only be talking to this one person, but your messaging will be so crystal clear and it will be very targeted. It will actually reach the right person, and then the ripple effect will reach even more. So talking to an ideal reader doesn't limit anyone. It actually amplifies your voice. So focusing on speaking to one reader is essential. And next, to really make your social media much more powerful and to actually attract the right people that you want to connect with, you need to give them a why. Listen, you know that your book is fantastic. You've spent months, maybe even years writing this book. You are in the middle of it, and you know that it's fantastic. But here's the catch. Readers, especially readers who are just discovering you, don't know that yet. So what you have to do is you have to give readers and potential readers the essence of your book. You don't have to give everything away, but you have to show them why they should be paying attention. So if you're a fiction writer, think about the emotions that your reader is going for. Maybe they want romantic romance. Maybe they want that mystery or horror or just entertainment in a general sense. Thinking about the emotion that they're trying to get out of a book and what they're looking for. And talk about the characters, talk about the settings, talk about the consequences around these settings. Think about the essence of the book. And if you write nonfiction, thinking about the problems, the questions that your ideal reader has, and really showing them why your book provides those answers. Thinking about some questions that they have and answering those questions in your social media posts is a great way to prove that you know what you're talking about and that the information that you're sharing actually works. So again, you don't have to give everything away, but giving the essence of your book is key because that is going to give them the why they should follow you or why they should buy your book. And my fourth tip is to be consistent with your messaging. So I hear from authors all the time saying they don't want to be pushy with their book sales and they don't want to be annoying with only talking about their books. And yes, it is a very fine line to balance. But here's the thing. There are going to be new people that are going to be coming to your social media account all the time. And every time you post, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone sees the posts that you share. So you have to be consistent in sharing more about your book. And you might think that you're talking about it all the time, but people aren't always going to be hearing the same messaging that you share. So that's why you need to be consistent. And in this video that I made, I talk about something that is going to be a huge tool for you, which is content buckets. Content buckets are 3 to 4 topics that you talk about consistently and you cycle through them week after week. And so what this does is it helps you to become known for something and it helps you to become consistent with talking about your book regularly. Now, if you're posting like 3 times a week, I would strongly encourage you to have one of those posts at least be about your book, to share, again, the essence of the book, giving them your why. That is so important. So being consistent with your messaging is key. And then my 5th tip is probably the most important when it comes to actually driving sales. And this is to drive people from social media to your newsletter. Now, I get a lot of pushback from authors about actually having a newsletter because a newsletter is probably the most important tool that you have in your book marketing toolkit, because when people sign up for your newsletter, they are saying, you have my attention. I want to know more about what you have to say. And a newsletter is information that you own. You do not own the connections that you have on social media. So if it were to go away, or if, God forbid, your account were to be hacked or something catastrophic like that, which it has happened many times, you need to be sure to have kind of a backup to that. You can't solely rely just on your social media. You always want to be driving people from your social media to your newsletter, giving them an incentive, maybe some free chapter downloads or some other incentive that really piques their interest is essential. So when people sign up for your newsletter, they're saying, I'm interested in your book, and they are one step closer to a sale. So what this does is it makes sure that you have people that are already paying attention so that when you do a promotion or when you're ready to sell your book, you have this group of people that you know are ready for a purchase. Because social media really is not a great place to sell. Again, that's where we create awareness, and everyone is at different phases. You might have followers that have been around for months or even years, and they are well aware of you and your book, but there might be some new followers that are brand new. So if you were to come in and sell on social media to a cold audience, to people who are just starting to know about you, that's going to fall on deaf ears, and it's going to be a big turnoff because people don't like to be sold to when they're not ready to buy. And I think that that's where we get that gross used car salesman feeling about social media when we push sales on people that are not ready to buy. So that's where your newsletter comes in. And that's why it's so important to have one, because you can rely on this list of people to know, okay, I have these people who I know are interested and ready to buy. So this is how you build awareness on social media and you drive them to your newsletter. Now, you can talk about your book. You can let them know that it's available, that it's for sale, that's no problem. But when you do a promotion or when you're really starting to drive sales, that's where your newsletter comes in. It's really about being intentional. When we just kind of throw a bunch of posts at the wall to see what sticks, we aren't going to see the results that we're hoping for. I call that hope marketing. And that is not something that you can rely on. It's something that you just kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best. And we don't want that. We want a sure thing. So being intentional and knowing exactly that how you're going to attract and build that awareness on social media and drive them to your website, to drive them to your newsletter, to be intentional with that content is key to making social media actually work for you and selling your book. I always say use social media to connect, not to convince. That's one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you. So in the comments, be sure to let me know if you have any questions, because I would love to hear from you. And let me know if you have a newsletter. I would love to hear if you have any questions about that. And to help you get started, I have a brand new free resource that you can download. It's called the Instagram Posting Formula. And if you're focusing on Instagram and you are struggling to grow there, this formula is going to be key to help you accomplish your goals and to actually see results from those goals. So be sure to go click the link below to download your free copy. And also be sure to like and subscribe. I share new videos every Friday, and I'll see you soon.